Welcome back to B2B Tech Talk Live from Ingram Micro Experience. And we're now joined by Hope McGarry, Executive Managing Director of Ingram Micro Australia, for a wrap of Ingram Micro Experience 2025. Hope, welcome to B2B Tech Talk.
Thank you, Andrew. Glad to be here. An amazing day today. Could not be happier to see so many of our partners and our vendors here celebrating the day with us.
Well, it's great to have you here, and we can actually still feel the energy on the floor today. You know, a few figures. We've seen more than 1,000 technology leaders, IT partners, C-suite executives come together with more than 40 leading IT vendors showcasing the latest in everything from cloud, cybersecurity, AI, and infrastructure to vertical solutions. And the list goes on. What an amazing day. But what's the biggest feeling right now that you're taking out of today?
I think the biggest feeling is just excitement to see the ecosystem come together, to share knowledge and ideas. And the power of this community is second to none. So I think the feeling I have is pride to see our community come together, and pride that Ingram Micro can provide a platform for that to happen.
Well, it's fantastic. And of course, this isn't your first Ingram Micro Experience, but it's your first as Managing Director since you started in the role of Managing Director in Australia in March of this year. I know that this year has been full on with you travelling the country for the Executive Connect luncheons with our partners in 4 states prior today, which was the finale lunch held earlier here in Sydney. And I'd say you've probably spoken to about 400 to 500 of our business leaders over that time. But without getting into the details of those conversations, what's been the focus of those discussions for you?
It's been an amazing opportunity to get around the country with my leadership group, my sales leaders, and meet as many of our customers as possible. We did 5,000 miles in under a week, I think, getting around to all of the cities. I think the conversations, there's a lot of similarities, but there is a lot of nuances depending on which markets you're in and which states and cities you're in as well. I think overwhelmingly there's a lot of bullishness about the opportunity over the next 12 to 18 months. I think we are really seeing that confidence come back into the market. However, I think there are still challenges around profitability, skill shortage, and complexity in our ecosystem that just also drives uncertainty for all of us. So I think there's optimism, but that's notwithstanding the fact that I think we all acknowledge when we're out and about talking to the customers that there are certainly challenges as well.
Yeah, look, absolutely. And I know you're having frank conversations. I don't know, the part of the conversations you're having is about removing friction from partners' businesses, about creating value and growth through our Xvantage platform, which I guess leads me to what we're doing here at Ingram Micro Experience, with Xvantage being a real centerpiece of Experience in 2025. Now, of course, it launched in Australia only in April last year,
Correct.
2024, and it was at Ingram Micro Experience last year. But over the 12 months since that time, it's a lot has happened for Xvantage in Australia, hasn't it? And it's really picked up momentum.
Absolutely. So the platform's matured here in Australia, and having travelled around the country, the feedback from the partner community has been overwhelmingly very, very positive about the platform. Customers are able to do things now in minutes that took them hours, which frees their teams up to be able to focus on what they do best, which is being out with their own customers and driving growth. So it's really, really positive to see the platform utilisation pick up and to hear the feedback from our customers. So we have over 5,500 customers transacting on the platform today, and we have a number of our vendors also on that platform able to gather insights and intelligence around the business that they do with us and with their partner community.
Well, it's amazing. It's amazing. And I know that there has been a tremendous ramping up of activity here in Australia, and to coincide with Ingram Micro Experience, we launched the Xvantage Integrations Hub in Australia, which is another step forward in helping partners do more.
Absolutely. I think that talks to the frictionless piece. So the more integration we can have across the biggest range of applications that each of our partners use, because everybody's using different applications for their CRM, their finance, their reporting. So the ability for us to essentially integrate Xvantage into a range of applications, irrespective of the partner, is massively game changing. And again, it's just about ease of doing business, reducing friction, freeing up their teams to focus on higher value tasks and less focus on operational inefficiencies. We are a very manual industry, and we have been a manual industry for 20 plus years. So to see the automation and the transformation that we're undergoing with Xvantage, and to see how that translates to value for our partners, is super exciting, and probably the thing I'm most excited about in the next 12 months.
Great. And Xvantage is a true platform, right? So these things like Integrations Hub and these things that are rolling out, we've got a pipeline of basically iterations that we can see from a global perspective, because it is a global platform. Is that right?
Absolutely. And I think we're in a really unique position here at Ingram Micro in Australia. We are local. We have local autonomy, local skill set, local investment, local expertise, but we have the backing of a very large global organisation who can make investments in our platform that many others can't. And so I think that differentiates us and we're able to then provide a different level of value to our partners in the market.
Yeah. Now, look, for everyone that's here and the partners listening, we all operate in a macro environment. What's the biggest challenges that you see everyone in the room is tackling together over the next 12 months?
So I think the macro challenges are things that we've spoken about as part of the Exec Connect series. There's a lot of volatility, geopolitical, tariffs, trade wars. There's just a lot of uncertainty in the macro environment. Whilst I think in Australia, from an IT industry perspective, we've shown a great level of resiliency, there's still a lot of cost consciousness. There's still a lot of focus on return on investment with end users. The end user requirement has become more and more complex. They're expecting more for less. That ROI scrutiny is more than ever, and the deal velocity is certainly slower than I think we've seen it in many, many years. So I think there are some challenges, but I also see a huge amount of opportunity, which we also talk about as part of the Exec Connect series.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess, look, as part of that, you do talk about the evolving role of Ingram Micro as a distributor, a new era for distribution, I've heard you call it. How do you see Ingram Micro and our channel partners working together in the year ahead in that context?
I think it's about making sure that we're aligned. So going out and talking to 500 and 600 business leaders of partners from MSPs, large, small, everything in between, traditional partners that are focused on infrastructure, cloud partners. I think you get a lot of insight into where the opportunity is and the support and the help that partners need. So for us, it's about making sure that we understand the market, we understand the opportunities and the challenges that our partners are facing, and we're investing in those areas to be able to support their growth. Organic growth is hard to come by in a very, very mature market like ours. So anything we can do to better align against where our partners may see some challenge or opportunity and be able to support that is really our focus.
And we, in the last 12 months, have made some alignments. So we've got some investments going in specialised areas. We've also got team alignments and things like that. Can you give us a bit of insight?
Absolutely. We've made significant investments in the last 5 years at Ingram around our OPEX, and a lot of that investment was in field facing or sales coverage, but also in our technical expertise around the areas of growth that we see. I think in distribution, particularly at Ingram, when we're servicing over 9,000 partners, we're working with over 150 vendors, we get a very unique view of where we see scale, transformation and growth within the partner and vendor ecosystem. So we're able to invest ahead of the curve and make sure that we have the resourcing, the sales expertise, the technical expertise to be able to support our partners in those macro areas of growth.
And I know that scale and speed are definitely key words that keep coming up time again.
Scale and speed's really, really important, but specialisation is critically important as well.
Yeah,
so I think we've done a really good job in the business locally to make sure that we can scale and we can be very agile and support that speed that we know our partners need, but also have the specialised skill set to be able to support the complexity of the market today.
Absolutely. Now, finally, Hope, we like to leave these with a quick call to action for partners and decision makers listening. What should they be thinking about or acting on when they get back to the office after Ingram Micro Experience or after hearing this podcast?
I think today's been an amazing opportunity for many of our partners to be able to get across 40 different vendors, to look at aggregated solutions. That's the power of distribution as well. We have the ability to aggregate solutions across multiple stacks. So really looking at what you've seen on the show floor today and thinking about how you could take that and embed that into your go-to-market going forward, and really thinking about how Ingram Micro can help you. You don't have to invest ahead of the curve. We've made a lot of those investments for you. So please leverage our resources, leverage our teams. We're here to support you, and we're here to support you grow, potentially in new areas that you may not want to invest in right now yourselves. So I would just say really learn from what you're seeing and what you're hearing on the floor here today. Talk to as many of the vendors as you can. Connect with your peers. The thing I love about this industry is how willing we are to share knowledge and ideas, even though we compete fiercely at times. So really leverage a lot of that knowledge and think about how you can apply it, and think about how you can leverage the skill set, the resource, the scale and specialization that Ingram has to offer, and free your teams up to do the things that matter to your business.
Well, Hope, what a great note for us to end on. Thank you so much for joining B2B Tech Talk. And a big thank you also to Ingram Micro Xvantage for sponsoring this episode.
Thanks
you,
for
Andrew. Joining us.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
And you can find links in the show description. And don't forget to share, subscribe, and we will see you on the next episode. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.